edition of Wake Up Nigeria today. Yay!
Of course, it's going to be 100% of everything that you hoped to get from a breakfast show.
Yes, and talking about 100%, you should be 100% responsible. Zero excuses. Love what you do till you are able to do what you love.
That's a very nice one. Very nice
How
one.
did I think that up?
Let me do
I
my
feel
own.
like a genius
Start
right
the
now.
week with the right kind of vibe, and hey, be a go-getter. That's how I ask you to start this week. If you can conceive it, then you definitely can achieve it.
Yeah,
How's that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. And as always, we like to start your week off with you on the right direction. Help you see the possibilities and so much more, really.
Yes, indeed. All our dreams can come through if you have the courage to pursue them. And of course, remember, courage isn't absence of fear. It is the conquest of it.
Yes. Welcome to a blessing-filled week. I am Mary Bashua Alimi.
And my name is Mazino Appeal. Of course, we have MM looking all very beautiful
Yes,
this
she's
morning.
looking so hot.
She brought a certain vibe
Yeah.
in this morning. I'm like,
Yeah.
MM on the Monday, not bad.
Yes, I had to let you all know that I'm here.
Indeed.
So what better way to announce my arrival, guys?
I like the fact that she's in a good mood.
She is the sunshine
Yeah,
this
she
morning.
is. MM on a Monday.
She
Kilo
came in and everybody was like, okay, we're awake now.
Yes, we're awake now.
So it's good to have you here on a Monday. So
Thank
hey,
you so much, Mazino.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
so Miko,
No, I
You
said
too.
thank you, guys. Thank you, Mary.
I don't have a name.
it's all good.
I'm just
Mary,
kidding.
Mary, it's Mary.
I'm
Anyhow,
just kidding.
we're asking you that you stay tuned for the entire 3 hour of great breakfast entertainment here coming your way, okay?
Yes, and do not forget to stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TV Entertainment, and of course on at TVC Connect rather on Facebook. Send in comments using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Yes, indeed. You can also download our mobile app from any Android or iOS store to watch us on mobile devices from anywhere that you might be, maybe at home or in the world. Indeed.
Yes, and you know, we strongly recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment on YouTube, for more of our videos, okay?
Catch up with us on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. We have something a little extra on IG Live.
Yes, more than extra, as
More
a
than
matter
extra,
of fact.
true.
But let's go straight to the highlights this morning. Hearing those American accents has me thinking of
Who, what?
Chadwick Boseman.
Ah, you had to start the show, so...
He's an awesome actor. He was an awesome actor. It's usually a struggle for me to refer to people in the past tense when they're gone. Fantastic actor. When the news broke over the weekend, it was devastating to many. And, well, he lived a good life. Thank you for Black Panther,
I was
especially.
hoping that we would discuss that during the coffee, just so that I'll have enough time to really look at his, talk about his movies, talk
At
about...
the time won't be enough.
No, it
won't
won't
be
be
If you
enough,
had one,
right.
So you might as well
it
get
won't be
started
I
already.
just,
Right.
yeah,
It won't, if you had one, it won't be
I'll
enough.
just let you guys know how I woke up on Saturday morning, and then normally, I don't know, it's a habit for most people. You just go straight to your phone to see what's been happening and while you've been sleeping. And the first thing that hit me, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. I'm like, I couldn't believe it because I was in the other room. It felt like a family member.
Other room.
No.
And like the emphasis on the other.
No. What I meant was I was in another room.
Oh, okay.
And then I came back to the bedroom with my wife and I woke her up. I actually woke her up like as if it was a family relative. I'm like, you can't believe it. Chadwick Boseman is dead.
Wow.
It was later I sat down and I thought about the impact. I'm like, it really did feel like family.
Yeah, you did.
It was.
So a lot of people. So from a lot, there's so much to say. When we found out how it happened, what he had to go through, and all of that, it was like my head was shaking. But there's a set of people I want to address. I'll address you later. Those of you that when something happens, it's time you want to show yourself. You now come out to the forefront and start saying,
Show kindness.
no, not that you show kindness.
Okay.
So the ones that say, now you people not celebrating when he was alive. Shut up. I will talk to you people very soon. it doesn't make... Look, you have to understand, everybody would live this life at some point or the other. Why do we talk about a legacy? Why do we talk about what you do while you're alive? Because people would have a particular time to pay their last respects.
Yes.
When people are paying their last respects, don't disrespect
Yeah, don't disrespect
people. Don't
it.
disrespect those who passed
Just give
on.
them the time.
Just leave people, and then you go like, did you celebrate you when you was alive?
I really riled you up over the weekend, didn't it?
Was it Mazzino? Why?
No, I mean, those people like... So,
No, but really, we should just be in a great mood because, especially for
left
me,
us with a lot,
you know,
didn't he?
Arsenal,
Oh.
you know, we won the Community
Yes,
Shield.
Could we have done
They've
this
been
without them
teasing
talking about
us, but
Arsenal?
it's
No, we
okay.
can't.
No, we can't.
No,
Like,
that is big. You have to understand. A new
How
coach who came...
many agege bread are they sharing on that tray?
Uncle, calm down. What did you say,
In
Jare?
just 6 months. I mean, you can imagine just 6 months. A new coach who came in has won 2 trophies. You have Solskjaer, who has been there for over 1 year.
Okay,
plus.
okay.
Congratulations, guys. Let me not be
So that we
the...
move on,
Yeah,
right?
he's like, he's a Man U
Thank
fan.
you.
Let's do
He
the
has
news.
something for Man U.
Let's do the news.
What stuff you doing? We need to chase off out.
Okay, let's get started with the news. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has filed a lawsuit against President Muhammadu Buhari over the failure to publish details of the 800 billion naira recovered loot. In a statement, the deputy director of the group, Kolawole Oluwadare, asked the federal government to disclose the information and release the documents. This includes a comprehensive list of names of people from whom the looted funds were recovered, the details of how the money was spent, and the specific dates of the recovery. The agency is also seeking a presidential order for anti-corruption agencies to transparently investigate the alleged payment of 51 billion naira of public funds into private accounts in 2019. Joining the suit as respondents are the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, as well as the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed. And now, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has congratulated Dr. Akinwumi Adesina on his re-election for another term of 5 years as president of African Development Bank. Asiwaju Tinubu says the re-election of Dr. Akinwumi Adesina is an affirmation of Africa's confidence in his ability and commitment to the development of the region. In a passionate letter forwarded to Dr. Adesina at the weekend and personally signed by him, Asiwaju Tinubu said, and I quote, "Your unanimous re-election by the Board of Governors, coming after ill-defined attempts to block your continuance, shows that if we remain vigilant and true to the collective purpose of the economic progress of the African continent, then fairness and justice will win out in the end. As AFDB presidents for another term, I urge you to continue in like manner, continue to invest your cognitive abilities, immense skills, and robust energy in the development of Africa." End of quote. Now, he further adds, and I quote, "Given the exigencies of the present moment due to the global pandemic, you must put your knowledge and creativity into fullest use that will work towards creating more employment for the people of this continent and remove them from the grip of poverty and its attendant difficulties." End of quote. To Kaduna State now, where 2 members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria have died. This happened a while ago when members of the Shiite sect were dispersed by security personnel while on Ashura procession, an annual event by the Shiites globally. One of them, Bashar Muhammad, died on the spot, while the other died later. Ashura procession is usually held in commemoration of the death of Imam Hussein, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. The sect, which has been outlawed by the Kaduna State government, say they have freedom of worship and association as enshrined in the Constitution. To Zamfara State now, where the governor, Bello Matawale, is seeking the death penalty for reckless driving after a truck crashed into 3 vehicles, killing 16 people instantly. He said reckless drivers should be compelled to pay compensation on every life lost. The governor also announced donations to families of each of the deceased. He said the state's government would introduce speed limit gauge on highways, weight measurement on trucks, and drug tests on drivers to guard against rough and reckless driving.
Do everything possible to safeguard the life of our people. And the best way to do is that we make sure that we protect our road and we put some measures so that we can control all the drivers that are coming in and out of the state. Which the state government has to initiate measures so that we can be able to control all these kind of problems. So the state government is planning to make sure that we have a weighing gauge in the state and the speed limit. We have to initiate that, and very soon we're going to do that, because I observed by myself that the higher speed that some of these truck drivers are going in the state is very uncommon. So we make sure that we do something so that we can put them on check.
Moving on, Ghana has reacted to a statement issued by the federal government where the Information and Culture Minister warned that Nigeria will no longer tolerate the harassment of its citizens residents in the country. A 6-page release signed by Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, the Minister of Information, stated that, for the record, the accusations are not reflective of the developments and any protest will be unjustified. On the seizure of property located at number 10 Bands Road, Accra, the minister said the transaction was a commercial agreement between Thomas Hardy, a private citizen, and the High Commission in Ghana in October 1959. According to the Ghanaian government, the terms of the lease expired 46 years ago. On the demolition of Nigeria's property, the statement clarified that the demolition was carried out by the agents of the Osus tool, but because of the value placed on the relationship with Nigeria, a decision was taken to restore the state of the building and communicated to the federal government in Abuja. On the issue of deportation of Nigerians in 2019, 700 and not 825 Nigerians were deported for crimes ranging from armed robbery to prostitution and fraud. On the issue of Nigerian traders, the Minister of Trade intervened to ensure that shops were reopened. President Nana Akufo-Addo will in the coming weeks engage with President Buhari to develop a framework where allegations of ill treatment of citizens of either country will be addressed. And that's it on the news updates for this hour. We'll take a break and return with the sports news. Stay with us. Thank you so much. It's time for us to take a look at the newspaper headlines.
Yes, indeed. Let's do that.
We'll begin with the Guardian newspaper.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Panic sale weighs on dollar as Bureau de Change window opens. That reopens more like. CBN vows to ensure exchange rate stability, sustain rebound with external reserves, experts urge. Foreign local firms re-strategize to cushion currency devaluation, others. Professor Sogolo tells his migration experience. Bayelsa gunmen kill councillor as first Siamese twins undergo successful surgery. Edo PDP deplores alleged attacks on members. There's a photo story here showing the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, arriving at Enugu for the reopening of Akano Ibiam International Airport just yesterday. Unusual August break puts crops at risk. Farmers lament as NIMET's rainfall forecast fails. Experts warn of food shortage, recommend irrigation insurance. And of course, the box there showing COVID-19 cases in Nigeria, which currently stand at 53,865. All of these stories and more in the Guardian newspaper today.
All right, now, Mary, moving on to the Nation newspaper. First big headline, 774,000 jobs. More slots for governors, lawmakers, 40% for governors, government officials. NDE takes over recruitment with minister's supervision. And the photo story here, you see migrants being assisted by medical doctors to get off a rescue ship on the Mediterranean Sea. This was taken yesterday. At the top of the page for the Nation, health workers serve strike notice. Ngige raises hope. Lawyers seeking NBA split, right Malami Akpata to audit polls. And Forex crisis, foreign investments at lowest ebb. This is inside page 17 and 24. Anakala leads Oyo APC. That's it for the Nation this morning.
The Daily Sun newspaper is what I have now, and it says Northern elders reject Constitution Review Plan, say exercise lacks merit. Group asks National Assembly to stop Water Resources Bill. Here we also see Edo Ondo Guba. IGP raises the alarm over arms, thugs movement. Magu pro-panel Mo's extension. Hostility against Nigerians, Ghanaian president to engage Buhari. Enugu Airport, Buhari deserves commendation, and that's coming from Kalu. fun fair as airports reopens. Federal government may concession it. Edo INEC rec Igini fights back, accuses some people of not wanting free fair poll. Up here, we see Enugu killings. Ohaneze youth won against making Igbo land battlefield. And finally, Kogi tension as Supreme Court decides Governor Bello's fate today. All of these stories and more in the Daily Sun newspaper.
All right, now, so the Punch newspaper for on Monday, firms list 33 Nigerians' UK properties. Begin sale soon. Company accuses FG of breach of agreement on Sapele Power deal, and we will pursue all remedies available, Office of Attorney General. Photo story here, Governor Ohaneze commends Buhari as Enugu Airport reopens. A couple of pictures from the airport, and I must say it does look good. Let's hope it keeps that way. Buhari has assured us of peaceful elections, says Obaseki, and again, Johesu issues 15-day ultimatum to FG threatens strike. I haven't endorsed Oni's governorship ambitions, says Fayose. At the top of the bank, rather at the top of the paper, banks borrowed 2.08 trillion naira from CBN in 4 months, and we're not ready for full resumption yet. Ogun, Enugu, Bauchi, and others. Polls, parties clash as IG fingers politicians in arms build up. Interesting story on page 9, that one. So grab a copy of the Punch newspaper if you'd like to see it.
Nigerian Tribune is what I have now, and it says, Water Resources Bill, Southern Middle Belt leaders go to court. This country has lived in peace for several years with its lands vested in the governors through the Land Use Act, which is part of the Constitution. That's a quote in there. Now, Dara Varsity of Transportation will be built for free by Chinese company, says Amechi. 3,261 sets for Amotekun screening in Ekiti State. Beg your pardon. Northern elders say no to review of 1999 Constitution. Northern lawyers write Malami over formation of new bar association. Up here, we see NNPC accrued 3.6 trillion naira from crude oil liftings in 13 months. That's a report. I did not meet with Obaseki coming from Igini. Businesses may not normalize till August 2021. That's a report. And of course, we have poultry farmers lamenting the continuous ban on forex for maize importation, say shortage causing underfeeding of birds, low egg production. Federal government plans to inject 600 billion naira into agriculture for food security. And finally, Edo Ondo, IGP warns politicians on arming of thugs, directs Commissioner of Police to rejig security architecture. APC PDP bicker over reports. All of these stories and more you can catch in Nigerian Tribune today.
And indeed, that's it for the headlines this morning. You can catch the stories inside any of your choice papers there. The show continues shortly. Just stay tuned with us.
Hi guys, good morning. Yes, it's that time of the morning where we update you on the traffic situation around Lagos. And please be extremely careful even as you make your way out this morning. And if you have any updates, you can please tweet at us at TVC Connect using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. And of course, I've got our gang in the kitchen, and of course they'll be giving us more updates on Twitter.
Well,
hey guys.
No, you know the traffic, you start to got your gang. Which gang?
It's always wrong with guys.
Go on, do your traffic alone.
All right, guys, moving on. If you are in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State this morning, I got you. Yeah, I do. Okay, so at the Ikorodu roundabout this morning, which is a very popular, place in Ikorodu, and you're making your way out of Ikorodu, let's see what the traffic situation is about. Okay, so there's traffic around the Ikorodu roundabout this morning, but as you make your way towards Agric bus stop, it becomes pretty tight, not so much, but light traffic. And let's see. Okay, so there is light traffic if you're making your way out of Agric towards Ogolonto, and then it eases up a bit. And let's see. Ooh, guys. All right, what is the time? It's 6:34 a.m. and the traffic just right after Ogolonto isn't smiling at all, people. And it is really, 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 really tight all the way to mile 12, which is, of course, expected because this is a Monday morning. All the way, guys, all the way. Now, let's see what the traffic situation around the Lagos-Ikorodu Expressway is like, because, I mean, the Third Mainland Bridge, of course, isn't open at this time, and so I'll expect that the traffic situation around the Lagos-Ikorodu Expressway this morning would be, let's see what it's like anyways. But whilst, you know, trying to update them on that, guys, I don't know if you have any updates on Twitter.
I've got an update.
Okay.
Now, this is not on Twitter, but just a little alert to anybody who's trying to make inroads onto the island this morning, whether it's from a Jigule Mobile Road, Badagry Expressway, at the Orile end, even the Nigerian Breweries Road. It's going to be a tough one, it seems. Since it's a Monday, there's a lot of outflow from these areas back into the island. But once you're past that general Igamo area, it begins to ease up, and the only other stop you might have would be at CMS, and then you're at work after that one.
Any other updates?
Yeah, sure. Here's from Follow Lasma, says movement from Iyano Oworu inward Gbagada via Charlie Boy is good to go. Movement from Charlie Boy inward Gbagada is also appreciable. Road is cool and calm at this moment. Vehicular movements from Olokpomeji Iyano Oworu Ilaje down to Adekunle inward Adeniji Adele, Lagos is very appreciable. Coming from Adekunle inward Iyano Oworu via Ogudu is also good to go. So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Mary. Let's quickly wrap this up. If you are on your way to the island this morning and you are using the Lagos-Ikorodu Expressway, at this time, the traffic situation isn't so bad, just at various bus stops, just as you make your way, so it's pretty light. But so if you're about to head out of your home, this will be a really, really good time. And that's it on traffic updates for now. Guys, what are we talking about?
All right. While we await I should mention the Yanopaja access. That's the Yanopaja Expressway.
Go on, sorry.
Traffic from Yanopaja through Goyi down to Dokpemu Underbridge inward cement is good. And that's coming from Follow Lasma, Ogulano through Mycom, Bakery, inward Shasha and Akowonjo are good to go. And I'm sure that's good news for those living in that area.
Thank you for the update. But by the way, what are you drinking? It looks alive.
Yes.
It's organic.
Loads of fruits and stuff inside.
Put it
I
back
would
in
like
there.
that.
Wood,
Can we
right?
share?
Is it going to make you any younger? Is it like an elixir or something?
There you go.
All right, guys. So what are we talking about for coffee?
Aha. So over the
This is
weekend,
your
I was very excited. What's going on there?
The coffee juice. I said that decided.
So yeah, you want to talk about
I was
Mike's
excited.
testing,
Marcus Houston got married.
Yes,
If
it
you
is.
guys grew up like we did, wait, who's we? Who's you guys? Marcus Houston was a big influence in most of our R&B lines and everything. You know, there you go. There you go. Now you know how old she is.
For her, she's an old soul. No, for her, you know that time when you are looking at that time, say, see, for her, you should watch it on Blast from the Past.
Anyway.
Or retro.
Mike has it out for you this morning, But don't worry, we got your back. We got your back.
It's unusual to see on
So
the
he got
Monday.
married.
Okay.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
But that's not the thing that got Twitter going crazy.
Yes.
Fact is that he got married to somebody who is 20 years younger than he is.
Only?
She's 19.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
He's
she's 19.
39.
Okay.
So everybody was like, come on, that's too much of an age bracket or gap. And I don't know. I'm like, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know if anybody else
I'm
does.
pretending to be Titi right now. Like,
Anyway,
is that
following
real?
that backlash on Twitter, he had released a statement saying, I need to speak because this is not music or television, it's my family, my future wife and my life. He
Future
met
already married, but-
already married, yeah. He met Mia in 2018 through a mutual friend and blah, blah, blah. So basically, in a nutshell,
Him and that
he's
mutual
just
friend have
trying
been working
to
together, by the way, for a long time.
So, really, they allegedly started dating in October 2018, and he proposed to her in 2019. Apparently, they became, apparently met her betrothed at a Jehovah's Witness convention. They even met in church.
Yes.
My boys, he's doing things
This
right.
is bliss.
It
Yes,
is?
they do things they find in church.
Wait, so you have no problem with the age gap?
No, I like older men, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Excuse me, do you still like older men?
Yes,
I
she
do.
does.
No, but
do you want to go into details?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Many
Oh, wow.
you had, I mean, it's only when, so what happens is that when ladies now grow older, they now start liking younger men.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what really
Okay, I
happens.
get you. Nice one.
Yeah.
I agree
By
with
the time
you.
MM gets like 40, 50.
I agree with you. Okay.
People are making a mistake.
That's how, that's how it is.
See, you guys,
But that's how it is.
people are making a mistake when they
That's how
think
it is.
that when a lady is old, she's out of it.
They don't know that that's when we are the
Nowadays,
sweetest.
exactly, because you know,
we are
when
overripe.
you are past menopause, when you don't have to
We are
worry about
sweeter.
pregnancy and all those things, that's when your life starts.
I was in this too.
By that time, the man is trying to make money for the children you are giving birth to.
Come
but
on,
you are
it's-
just about to start living your life. So they don't know. They don't know.
Giving it to them.
I see men go, my wife is too old. Let me go for the
Somebody
younger
bring my
girl.
wallet. I
You
want
are
to
making
spray
a
me with
mistake.
this
That's when she's at her best. Little do you, in fact, spray me, spray me, spray me.
You guys, this is a bit too passionate for a Monday morning. As in, we're
You
talking
started it.
about congratulations, Marcus Houston. You're saying I'm still.
As for Marcus
They are
history,
trying to drown the truth. The
What is the truth?
Is that
uh-huh.
women, I hardly ever seen a young girl who like her mate. They are, you know, the secondary school relationship that they'll do blood or not, or that.
And that's research. See,
blood oath.
that's
People are wasting your
research.
time.
Mike is telling you from so much research and
So, but when
experience.
when they made money and they
cannot
start
sell
doing
this.
all that, that's what happens. So, but for
Yeah, who did you date?
You there.
How much
Like,
older?
yeah.
The oldest person you've
The
been
oldest
with?
person.
Okay.
18 years. Do I stand a chance?
No, but really,
Okay, but-
I actually feel that there's absolutely nothing wrong with dating.
long as she's past 18,
or
yeah?
getting married to whoever you want to.
I will say one thing.
Some ladies like, okay, so some people might say that it is stemmed from daddy issues. That is why they are just
I'm hoping you don't-
Older
Yeah,
men,
looking
yes,
for older men that they are
yes,
attracted to.
yes.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with
But
it.
listen.
If you feel that you've lacked daddy's love and some man is willing to give it to
A
you,
word
I'm
of
not saying
caution,
married
MM.
men, no.
MM,
The
a word
single
of caution.
older ones.
A word.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've heard you. We've heard you.
There is that connection, please. Feel free.
I just want to give out
Enjoy.
one word of caution. I don't know if this applies to other cultures, but there is something that there is with these kinds of marriages, there is a generational there's something gulf. No, a gulf. The word I was looking for. The word I was looking for was gulf. So how one age or a husband who's older understands something will be very different from how his younger wife does, and that causes plenty.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry, Amen.
That is an opportunity for the man to teach her, to guide her. At that point, he becomes her guardian angel. He guides her, he directs her, he teaches her. He becomes a mentor.
She's hot. I
to
know,
her.
I know.
Thank you.
Okay, but see, let me just say something. You see, on this issue of people getting married to different age groups, just as you said, it's all about who you like. There are some people that cannot marry someone who is like way older than them. And you know the problem with most of these marriages of people just 3-4 years age difference, they will always have clash. The man might want to show I am the head. Note, we might be age mates, but I'm your husband. All those unnecessary things might be, start
And this all of you have
showing.
told, all this what I've told marriage counselor
like-
now. They know what
Mike,
is something.
we are educating you, so
Well,
you
once
can
they
be ready.
once they get to 50, you will now see whether they will like 60-year-old man.
Never be ready.
They'll be looking for
It's still
20-year-old
always a
boy.
surprise.
They'll be
Now
giving
that
them
you've landed
action.
your points, Ma. Thank you very much. We also still want to say that it was a sad weekend. We still want to have in our memory the families of Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
And our thoughts are with them.
Yeah,
and
I would say tune in on Friday. I have a special,
make it special.
That'll be
special
awesome.
one talking about this guy.
Chadwick.
Look, this is a real life hero.
It's
Forget
family,
matter.
man.
Forget matter. You see, what was shocking the most is that he had this thing that he always used to go visit cancer patients.
Yes.
Especially kids.
Yes.
A lot of conspiracies coming out telling that he perhaps already knew that he wasn't going to stay too long.
Not perhaps, he knew.
But
He did.
knew.
It's
He
not
did
perhaps.
know.
When you're diagnosed with colon cancer, you are
It's
given a
not
maximum
perhaps.
of 5 years to live.
not
That's the
perhaps.
way it
He
is
knew.
with colon
So
cancer.
he was starring in all these movies,
And he was
struggling
ill.
through all of that.
Yeah.
He was going for operations,
And
chemo,
chemo,
at
yeah.
the same time.
What do you think about how will this impact the Marvel Universe now? How would it impact Black Panther 2? Do you think they've already been perhaps filming from before?
Okay, I know,
No, I
Mike,
think
you
it's-
might
it's
have
died
more experience. You might
in
have
the
more
Marvel
information when it
I
comes.
think it's
I
died.
know when. I know that Mike might have more information regarding that. But I was having this conversation with my husband, where I was saying that it would be really sad if they bring someone else.
I don't want to see
play
anybody
that
else. I
character.
don't think anybody's
I don't want
coming.
anyone to play that character because this guy actually led a franchise that changed everything
Yeah.
about Black representation.
Culture.
I do not think they'll bring somebody. I think they might create a similar character, or it might be
I don't
want
wanna see nobody else.
That will
No
not
one.
be like the,
I don't want
the
to see no one
superhero.
else.
They'll
That's
bring someone else.
I
Remember
want
this
to
And I
happened.
love that we are sending love and light to his family.
Remember this happened with Andy Whitefield,
Well,
Spartacus.
true.
Alrighty, so it's round 2 of the 3-hour marathon for Wake Up Nigeria. We're just coming up with a very exciting, very interesting 1 hour gone by, wasn't
Yes.
it, Mary?
Yes, indeed. And if you're just joining us, welcome.
You're welcome,
It's
guys.
Okay, absolutely okay to be a glow stick. Sometimes we have to break before we shine. So let's put in the work, all right?
Yes, do that. As you know, we are not a race, but a non-stop marathon of non-stop entertainment. See what I did there?
Yes.
Now, it's definitely going
Don't
to be a
leave
fun...
me, don't leave me.
a fun Monday. So Mondays aren't supposed to be boring, and Mary's making sure we're not bored here in-house. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Now, we are streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Comment. So send in comments.
Oh, yes.
Did I just say TVC Comment?
No,
it should be TVC Connects. Yes, because I want you to send in your comments. And don't forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Also, you want to remember now, we have that special app available for you for download on both Android and iOS store. The app allows you to watch us from anywhere you might be in the world.
Yes.
We also want to remind you once again to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.com.
Yeah.
Dot TV.
TV.
Sorry.
Yeah. What's wrong with us this morning?
Sorry.
And you can join us on IG Live on Fridays. That's at 2:30 p.m. as we bring you someone special for a chat.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and talking about special things that are happening in the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, MM. Hi, Mary Jane. How you doing?
Give us an update.
Hi guys.
Good morning,
Yes.
everyone.
Good morning. We have Chef Mary Jane. She's joining us this morning, and she's making something very, very, very
Delicious.
yummy. I mean, I can't wait, guys. So you have to stay tuned to find out what we're going to be making in the kitchen this morning, guys.
While MM was going on about very, there was a rumble in my tummy going.
Talk about sonic reminders. You know what, Justin, that's very interesting. We'll have this conversation later.
Okay, let's head straight to the highlights.
Yes,
We'll be taking a trip down memory lane. Talk. Things are said.
How do you know? That's exactly what I had in mind.
Are you serious?
I promise
Can you
you.
imagine?
That's exactly what.
What is wrong with these guys today? You should have seen their face.
I'm so
yourself,
happy
man.
that there's a divide here. You guys can do your thing while we do
Wow.
ours. So
Are
you
you
go.
really-
Wow.
We
Are you really
actually
doing
go with
that?
our theme, aren't we? So,
I said you guys need more days. That Wednesday is not enough.
see, as a matter of fact, we could start the week with it.
But do you girls really do that? Like go to one person's house all pillowed up in pajamas and everything and start to talk?
Yes.
And then the very next day, you guys can so easily pick a fight, throw the next person out the door.
Yes.
And then that's the end of the relationship.
That is
After
the
bonding that
joy.
much. That's how your relationships
That's the
always
joy
end.
of friendship.
It's not friendship because you guys never get together after 3 years, maybe.
But you eventually,
See, that's the difference.
it would happen.
That's the difference. With us, we'll curse each other now. Tomorrow we're drinking
Yeah,
beer
right.
together.
It just reminded me of one photo I saw. So they did this grid. On the left side were two girls giggling. And then the caption
saw
was, you saw it,
Yeah.
when a girl tells a friend, I like your brother. Then on the right side were two guys fighting. Like, they
Okay,
were-
when the guy tells you
his
that I like
friend,
your sister.
True.
So that more or less
No, it
sums
depends on
it
the
up.
kind of friends you have, the kind of guys. There are some guys that at their circle, it has to be within their circle.
If you know the bad one,
It has to be within their circle.
every group has There's a crazy guy, there's a fun guy, there's a, lover boy, then there's the guy
Party guy.
then there's the admin.
The one who controls everyone.
Controls
who puts everyone.
Where if that one guy is missing, it's like as if there's something missing. So if he is angry in that group, whatever group, whether it's virtual or not, if you remove him from that group, everything collapses. So they often are very, very important individuals in any friendship. It's like the glue that holds everybody else together.
Well, you're lucky if you have a good friend. It's one thing to have friends, it's another to actually have a good friend, someone you can call on, someone you can rely on, someone you can trust. I know this lady here, she has a very caustic tongue, but in most cases, she can be very straightforward with you. So
She an FFK like this.
no, FFK zone. Do you want to go down there?
So anyway,
let's go straight to the
somebody made me wake up
Let's
early
just-
Saturday morning. That was Ibrahim. Ibrahim, see this sacrifice I had to make for you on
Which
Saturday
sacrifice
morning.
are they talking
To
about?
come up on the while we're taking the news.
Yeah, the Chadwick Boseman, we had to discuss that. But then, what you said concerning different groups, I believe I usually play the administrative role, and that's what I've always done.
Always someone like
It's
that.
for you. It's easy to tell those that are administrative role. Mike is one of them. I won't tell you why I said
And
so.
which one am I? Which one do you think I am?
You.
Let's just read the
Ibrahim,
news, baby.
let's go straight to you.
All right then, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 130 cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 53,865. Plateau recorded the highest number of new infections with 55, followed by Lagos with 15. Ebonyi and Oyo recorded 11 new cases each. So far, 41,513 people have been discharged, while 1,013 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle is seeking a death penalty for reckless driving after a truck crashed into 3 vehicles, killing 16 people instantly. He said reckless drivers should be compelled to pay compensation on every life lost. The governor also announced donations to families of each of the deceased. He said the state government would introduce speed limit gauge on highways, weight measurement on trucks, and drug tests on drivers to guard against rough and reckless driving. And now to Kaduna State, where 2 members of the IMN have died in Kaduna. This happened a while ago when members of the Shiite sect were dispersed by security personnel while on Ashura procession, an annual event by the Shiites globally. One of them, Bashar Muhammad, died on the spot while the other died later. Ashura procession is usually held in commemoration of the death of Imam Hussein, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. The sect, which has been outlawed by the Kaduna State government, say they have freedom of worship and association as enshrined in the Constitution. It's now 56 days since Ibrahim Mago, the suspended chairman of the EFCC, honored an invitation by the Commission of Inquiry over allegations of misconduct. Let's bring you up to speed with what has transpired since the panel commenced sitting with former president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Ayo Salami, presiding. Mr. Mago has said that the release of the purported interim report did not emanate from the panel. The lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu, disclosed this development, quoting Justice Ayo Salami as ruling on his application against the media report. Mr. Shitu said he confronted the panel over the release of the alleged interim report, which had received publicity, and is asking the panel to take judicial notice and necessary actions against the purveyors of the fabricated reports. On the propriety of the report, Ibrahim Mago's lawyer quoted Justice Salami, who is believed to have said that the report is based on a figment of the author's imagination. A source told TVC News that the chairman of the panel said, "What should concern you and your client is what the chairman said. Inviting the promoters of the story will not serve any useful purpose as they will not disclose their sources of the story." End of quote. It will be recalled that Ibrahim Mago was arrested on the 6th of July and ushered before the panel. President Muhammad Buhari signed a letter of instrument 3 days before naming the panel as a commission of inquiry to look into alleged mismanagement of recovered assets against the acting chairman of the EFCC. The panel has sat for 40 days, excluding weekends and public holidays. Ghana has reacted to a statement issued by the federal government where the Information and Culture Minister warned that Nigeria will no longer tolerate the harassment of her citizens residents in the country. A 6-page release signed by Kojo Opong Nkrumah, the Minister of Information, stated that for the record, the accusations are not reflective of the developments and any protest will be unjustified. On the seizure of property located at number 10 Barnes Road, Accra, the minister said the transaction was a commercial agreement between Thomas Hardy, a private citizen, and the High Commission in Ghana in October 1959. According to the Ghanaian government, the terms of the lease expired 46 years ago. On the demolition of Nigeria's property, the statement clarified that the demolition was carried out by the agents of the Osu stool, but because of the value placed on the relationship with Nigeria, a decision was taken to restore the state of the building and communicated to the federal government in Abuja. On the issue of deportation of Nigerians in 2019, 700 and not 825 Nigerians were deported for crimes ranging from armed robbery to prostitution and fraud. On the issue of Nigerian traders, the Minister of Trade intervened to ensure that shops reopened. And President Nana Akufo-Addo will, in the coming weeks, engage with President Muhammadu Buhari to develop a framework where allegations of ill treatment of citizens of either country will be addressed. And that's the news update for this hour.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's time for us to check out what the newspaper headlines are. And we'll begin with the Nigerian Tribune. As it is, the major headline here is Water Resources Bill. Southern Middle Belt leaders go to court. This country has lived in peace for several years with its lands vested in the governors through the Land Use Act, which is part of the Constitution. That's a quote there. Here we also see Dara Varsity of Transportation will be built for free by Chinese company, says Amechi. 3,261 sets for Amotekun screening in Ekiti. Here we also see Northern elders say no to review of 1999 Constitution. Northern lawyers write Malami over formation of new bar association. Here we also see poultry farmers lament continuous ban on forex for maize importation, say shortage causing underfeeding of birds, low egg production. Federal government plans to inject 600 billion naira into agriculture for food security. Now moving on, let's take a look at a New Telegraph. It says, Nigeria-Ghana face-off worsens as Ghana justifies actions against Nigerians. A minister, we deported 700 for criminal activities. And there's a quote here coming from the Ghanaian Minister of Information, Mr. Kojo Nkrumah. He says the Federal Republic of Nigeria is on record to have taken a number of steps in recent months which have gravely affected other countries in the region. These include the closure of Nigeria's Seme-Krake border from August 2019 to date and the issuance of executive orders by Nigeria's presidency preventing foreigners from getting jobs which Nigerians can do, to mention a few. Moving on, Buhari reopens Enugu Airport, says aerodrome will be concessioned. There will be violence in Edo-Ondo polls. That's coming from the IGP, says politicians arming thugs. Commissioners of police to rejig operations. Sleep restriction intensifies risk of anger. That's an article you might want to check out. And finally, World Bank to federal government end border closure to curb inflation. That's as much as we can take from New Telegraph. Now let's move on to the Punch newspaper now. Contract judgment enforcement. Firm list 33 Nigeria's UK properties begin sales soon. Company accuses federal government of breach of agreement on Sapele Power deal. We will pursue all remedies available. That's coming from the Office of the Attorney General. Up here, we see federal government constructing, rehabilitating 40 major bridges, says Fashola. Banks borrow 2.08 trillion naira from CBN in 4 months. Wow. 700 Nigerians involved in fraud, prostitution, robbery deported, claims Ghana. NBA activities against national interest, splinter group writes Malami. Down here, we see Governors Ohaneze commend Buhari as Enugu Airport reopens. That's what the photo story is all about. Buhari has assured us of peaceful election. That's coming from Obaseki. I haven't endured on his governorship ambition. That should be endorsed. And that's coming from Fayose. Again, Johesu issues 15-day ultimatum to FG, threatens strike. Just so you know, that's the health body. Police incapable of protecting lives can't govern Amotekun. Akintoye is the one saying that. Man killed for accusing neighbor of sleeping with co-tenant's wife. And finally, APC Jegede in verbal war over Ore overhead bridge. Moving on to the nation now. 774,000 jobs, more slots for governors, lawmakers, 80% for, that's 40% rather, for government officials. NDE takes over recruitment with ministers' supervision. Nigeria recovers as forex sales to BDCs near. Oil prices, foreign reserves upbeat. Ghana faults Nigeria's closure of borders, Buhari's executive order. We are not ill-treating Nigerian businessmen. Akufo-Addo to meet the president on matters of interest. Down here, we see multi-choice hikes, DSTV, GOTV rates, and COVID-19 stories. Health workers serve strike notice. Ngige raises hope. And finally, Akala leads or your APC. You can find these stories and more in the Nation newspaper. Quickly now to the Vanguard. Nigeria will break if we release NDDC looters list. And that's coming from Ojogbo. And he's accusing National Assembly of being terrified by forensic audits, says National Assembly using budgets to blackmail committee. Forensic audits triggered National Assembly interest. Adds 51 million naira monthly imprest to MD's office, not personal money. Falano, 38 CSOs kick against suspension of legislative oversight by Gbaja. Federal government's foreign debt, $27.6 billion, not $76 billion. DMO replies Falano. Now, more foreign investors leave as FPI flows crash by 228%. Experts link situation with low confidence in the economy. Domestic investors take advantage as expected. Now, you've also taken steps that affected us. Ghana replies Nigeria regarding all that's been going on. Now, Edo, INEC rec fires back, denies connivance with PDP to rig polls. And regarding the polls, police uncover influx of arms, thugs into Edo, Ondo. Finally, successful surgery saved me from witchcraft tag, says a mother of separated conjoined twins. And that is a high note to end the newspaper headlines today. That one is from the Vanguard. Thank you so much for watching. We will head straight for some fitness.
You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And here with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Mary Jane. Isn't it amazing? We have two Mary Janes, and this is another Mary Jane. And this morning, she'll be making giz dodo. Just in case you're wondering, what's giz dodo? Explain, please.
Okay, giz dodo is a combination of dodo and gizzard in a wise, in a well-spiced way, not the regular one.
Not the regular one.
Yes.
What a beautiful way to wake us up this morning. Give us something sumptuous, something different. I'm really loving this recipe this morning. Now, let's talk about the ingredients quickly.
Yeah, for my giz dodo, I have green pepper, spring onions, red bell pepper, that's butch cornet, and rodo, gizzard itself, and the plantain. Your Maggi, your salts.
Seasoning cubes?
Seasoning cubes.
Yeah.
Okay, your granite oil.
Vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil.
Okay, great. And I see that you already started frying up the plantain that we're going to use.
I've already chopped the plantain to cube size of my choice. You can do it in any way you want it, but I prefer it being chopped in a cube size.
Okay, in like little chunks, just like we have here. As you can see, look at this. This looks really beautiful, by the way. We don't like that, the brown one. But then, can you also use like overripe plantains? Because there are some people who just specifically love overripe plantains. Those really soft, mushy plantains.
Oh, yes. If I'm using an overripe one, it depends. That's maybe if you are using it for family alone. But when it comes to an event or you are cooking for others, you don't know people's choice. So you don't need to use an overripe
I agree
plantain.
with you. I agree
So
with
that's
you.
why I'm using a fresh one.
I agree with
Fresh
you.
one.
I
Not
agree
too
with you.
soft. They're not too ripe. But very normal.
I can see, I know that it's obvious like you cater to events and stuff. How has it been since after the lockdown and business, picking up gradually?
It's been awesome.
Sure.
It's been awesome because basically it's not only events that I do. I train both online and hands-on.
Oh,
So
I say like that's
it's
the
a
new direction now for a lot of chefs.
Yes.
Yeah, training online.
has
Nice.
been truly the lockdown has really opened our brain to another way of doing the business more, which is online way.
Nice.
So it's been awesome.
Nice, nice. I like the dimension, like all the dynamism that's taking place in everywhere. I mean, in the catering industry, in the tech industry, even in the makeup industry, everybody's just evolving and moving with the time. So now let's get back to our Giz Dodo. Let's
you.
talk about the process. So now that our plantains are frying up, when they're ready, what's next?
Okay, once you get your plantain being fried finished, the next thing to do, you can as well use the oil, but I won't like to use the oil. I'll use another fresh one. Sorry, the first thing to do is cook your gizzard. Put whatever you want to put. But for my gizzard, I added garlic, turmeric, ginger, then my spice.
Okay.
You make sure your giz dodo is well cooked. Gizzard rather is well cooked. Not too soft, they're not too hard.
Oh, okay. Just in between.
In between.
Okay.
Then if you are chopping your gizzard, you will make sure it's not too small. Because by the time of frying it, it will shrink.
Oh, okay.
So you just cut it normal.
Okay.
After then, you set it aside, fry your plantain, which I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Then you bring out your plantain. The next thing is to blend your fresh pepper.
Okay.
After blending your fresh pepper, you do as you want to make a sauce. You put your vegetable oil.
Okay.
Then after that, you make sure you put onions to change the taste or the aroma of the oil.
Give it more flavor.
A flavor.
Okay.
After that, you remove that particular onions you remove it out. You don't need it.
Oh, okay.
He has done what you want.
Oh,
Then
wow.
the next thing is for you to put your pepper, your fresh pepper,
In
it. After that, you make sure the fresh pepper is a little bit done, not too cooked. Then you put your gizzard, put your spice and everything. Once it is ready, like 10 minutes, then you add your plantain to it. Then your gizzard is ready.
And please, don't go and put too much vegetable oil.
Yes.
We need to,
You need to portion everything.
Not that. Don't put so much vegetable oil when making this recipe. Just a little bit of vegetable oil, right?
Little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the quantity of what you are cooking. I would have said, okay, let me measure it for you, but no. Like this one I'm doing now, you would have used your instinct. Okay, this is what I'm cooking. I don't need much
vegetable
just
oil.
small.
Yeah, just little.
Just little.
All right, great. If you're just joining us, people, this morning, we are making Giz Dodo. And this is Chef Mary Jane, and like she said earlier on, Giz Dodo actually is gizzard and dodo. It's just a combination of both. And what other proteins can you use if not gizzard?
You can, well, if it is giz dodo, basically you need your gizzard.
Okay.
But you can add every other thing like your blended crayfish, your prawns, yes. But the presence of that gizzard is the main cocoa.
Wow.
It must be there. That's why it's called giz dodo.
I make this, I know when I just got married, I used to make this a lot, but because I'm not a fan of gizzard, I always use beef.
Okay.
Shredded beef. Like, you still achieve the same thing, but same process, same, recipe, but just different ingredients here and there, basically. All right, so much stuff happening here in the kitchen, and very soon we'll be, putting up the menu on for you to see, just in case you missed out on any, detail or information, just in case. But anyways, we'll be back here in the kitchen. But for now, we have to take you back in time. And Mazino and Mary, welcome back, people. We are still on to Wake Up Nigeria. We've been serving you some goodness on the show, guys. Trust me, if you know that, if you're home and you're watching, please stay with us, because there's still so much more on the show, guys. With me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Mary Jane. Hello.
Hi.
she's so calm. and collected. And this morning we are making giz dodo. That is gizzard and dodo. That combination, yes, we are making that on show this morning. And let's run through the ingredients once again.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're too busy. I could do that for you.
If you are to make gigs dodo,
Okay.
basically things that you need are your fresh pepper, your gizzard, your turmeric is optional if you don't like turmeric. But garlic, ginger, if you don't like them as well, is optional, but it's very, very good for the health.
Yeah.
And your
And
spice.
on your screen right there are the ingredients, people. So please, if you're watching, grab your pen and your paper. If it's something you want to try over the weekend, over the week, please go ahead. All the ingredients are there on your screen. But go ahead, Mary Jane.
You have your plantain as well. You need it. I don't know how you want to garnish yours. You can garnish your giz dodo in different ways with different things.
Okay.
But basically, I like my veggies. So I have my spring onions being chopped here, and red bell peppers and green peppers, and I have my onions. We have two types of onions as well, not the spring onions. I don't like the black onions. The white one is very good. The black one is always somehow make your food bitter.
Oh,
But
really?
yes.
Okay.
Because there sometimes the onions are scarce. You'll find the white one very, very expensive. But the other one is very rapid when it's time. Like now, onions is very expensive.
I want to go to my 12 very soon. Okay.
So you can also
So we have our vegetable oil cooking already, right?
already.
And
The next thing I'm to pour is my fresh pepper.
Okay, great. All right. If you're just joining us, people, this is Chef Mary Jane, and this morning we are making this dough. And going into the vegetable oil right now is our freshly blended pepper. Did you add any bit of tomatoes in there?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Just a little bit,
Yes.
yeah?
The tomato is not much. Just put small.
Okay.
Small. I don't know. Some people don't eat pepper. Maybe they are oxa patient
patients, yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to put, because I'm not, though for me at home, I don't really put fresh tomatoes.
Okay, you just
But
use
I'm
only
cooking
pepper.
for others here. I don't assume everybody to be like me in my estate or so. Now I added just little. And I don't use any other one. Like I use Hausa fresh tomatoes.
Wow.
Hausa fresh tomatoes.
Wow. Those ones that are very hot.
Very hot, big.
Okay. Oh, that's for the tomatoes and then the
Okay.
pepper. Okay, great. All right, so we're just going to wait for our pepper mix to fry up a bit till they're well done, yes?
Thank you.
Well, we're going to wait for them to
Cook a bit.
A bit,
A
okay.
bit.
And then we'll put in our, then what's going in next, quickly?
Next thing is your spice.
Okay. And so you could use any
You'll
spice
be mindful
you
of
want.
what the spice you are putting, because
Okay.
if your gizzard is well spiced already, you don't need to put too
so much spice
Yes,
in your
because you'll
pepper
be
mix.
having, when your spice is too much, the food will be tasteless.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Be tasteless.
All right, great stuff happening on the show, guys. And as you know, every Monday we bring you some good motivation, and Mazino is taking that. Hello, Mazino.
Well, thank you very much, One thing about the kitchen is once I hear that sound of anything frying, my first response is to want to take off. I don't know why, but anyhow, welcome. It's time for some motivation, and today, well, we've been joined by Fola Daniel Adelesi, an inspirational speaker who's a trained communicator. He's also an expert there. As a renowned author with more than 5 published books and a quintessential public speaker who speaks professionally and trains effectively, he'll be talking to us today about location versus vision. Welcome to the show, Fola Daniels. How are you?
Thank you.
All right.
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. How was your weekend?
Slightly busy, but good.
It's okay. I had a dashing one. If you want to ever hear about it, we should hang out sometime. But let's do this. We're talking location versus vision on today's show. First off, let's give our viewers a bit of an understanding on that topic.
Okay, so the issue of location versus vision speaks to people trying to move to a particular location, thinking that that's where they can succeed. You know, we always have this dreamland, and I think everybody has a dreamland. And you think that once you get to that location, all your problems are automatically solved. Some people want to go to a particular country and they think that they're just going to pick money on the streets, or all their money problems will be solved once they get to that country, all their marital issues, whatever it is they're going through. They just believe that once they get to that country, everything will be solved. And there are those who believe that wherever they are, they can succeed. So today, what we want to address is to say that it's not really about the location sometimes, because what you have in you is what determines what happens at the location. So if you go to a good location and you don't have all the right sources within you, you're still not going to succeed. And I'll give you a quick example. If you plant in a good soil and you don't nurture that seed will still not grow well. And you can plant something else in another soil where there is not enough water, the soil is not really a good one, but if you pay all the attention to that seed, you give it enough water, in that bad soil, there is a possibility that that seed will still grow and do very well compared to the one that is in a good soil that is not nurtured. So you must understand that your vision should come ahead of choosing a location. What kind of vision do you have? What plans do you have? What skill sets do you have? If you don't have a skill set, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a plan, wherever you go, the location will not be able to support you. It was the late Archbishop Benson Idahosa that was credited to have said, if you are a lizard in Nigeria, wherever you go in the world, you will not become a crocodile. You will remain a lizard. So you don't expect to have that larger than life picture just because you've gone out of Nigeria or because you've changed your location. And it's not really about whether you are going out of Nigeria or you're staying in Nigeria, because for some people, their abroad is Lagos.
Well, let me ask you
wants
this
to come to
question,
Lagos.
Fala Daniel. So what exactly is responsible for that mindset, that concept that people have that once I leave this location, it's going to be better for me somewhere else? What's responsible for that? I think that question needs to be asked.
One of the things, that's correct. One of the things that is responsible for that is the success that other people from that location have displayed over time. You know, when people move to a location and they show you that I went to this location and I succeeded, some other people think, okay, why don't I just go there as well? They don't tell you what they did. They don't tell you about their struggles. Many of them don't tell you how difficult it was for them, or how they slept under the bridges, or how they went for days without feeding. So someone else just assumes that if I take my gifts, my skill, or whatever it is that I don't even have to the new location, then there's a possibility of success. One of the things we need to put to consideration before going to a location, just because someone else has succeeded there, is what kind of skill, what kind of gift did that person go with to that location? Because you may have a particular gift that is useful in that location, or your gift might just be useful somewhere else. So if you don't look at the relevance of the location to your personality, your giftings and all of that, you're just going to go to a location and you will frustrate yourself. Take a look at our lifestyles generally. Do you know that some people, their lifestyle typically will make them adapt easily if they move to a country like the United States?
True.
Some others will never survive until they go to a place like UK. They are so reserved, they are so conservative. Imagine a reserved person trying to live in the US. Their lifestyles are not the same. And someone else who don't just survive, except they go to maybe the Caribbean, where, you know, they're just hippie, they're always energetic and stuff like that. So you need to look at what you have inside of you before you make that decision about a location. And your skills and because some locations will kill your visions.
Okay,
if
so
you think that location will support the vision, it just might kill it.
Okay, so I hear you now. You're telling, first off, what kind of skills am I carrying with me if I choose to change locations? That's a big question. However, what kinds of skills could prove the best in that? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are thinking like, okay, so what should I be able, what should I be able to do, or what kind of knowledge should I have? What would you advise? Or would you just simply advise people to just stay put?
Find your own purpose.
Okay.
And once you find your own purpose, you will then determine, in line with your purpose, the kind of skills that you need. So if you're going to change locations, you will then be looking for a location that supports your purpose and your skill set. So you can't just decide one day, I'm going to this location and everything must work. If you're doing something, if you're speaking a lot and you want to move to another place where they don't have busy companies, they don't have corporations, they don't have organizations, and you are talented at, training, talking to people. Question is, who are you going to be training when you get there? You're going to have to change your skill set, or you're going to have to look for something else to do in that location. So if you have a skill set that doesn't match the location you're going to, you will frustrate yourself. So identify your purpose. After identify your purpose, build skills in line with the purpose that you have identified, then find the right location that supports that kind of purpose. That's about the best thing, because there's no generic skill set I can tell anyone to go and work with, because I don't even know where you're going to. However, even if you build a skill because of a given location, you may get there, achieve all the success in the world, and in your wee years or your late years, you may just begin to regret everything that you have done, because purpose will only give you fulfillment. All those other things will give you success, not fulfillment.
All right.
So that's what I tell people to do.
Well, Fola Daniels, thank you very much, and we have heard you. Thank you for that. A little bit of motivation, and also what you need to consider if these are your thoughts. We look forward to seeing you on the show again, Fola Daniels, and of course, do remain if you're still listening, or rather watching us from home. We've got more Wake Up Nigeria coming your way. My name is Mazino Appeal. Oh yes. Well, spend a little time trying to make something of yourself and a little time trying to impress people, and you'll see what a difference that will make.
Indeed. It's been a solid 2 hours of premium entertainment.
Absolutely.
The last 45 minutes is equally going to be amazing, but that's if you stay tuned to watch.
Exactly. So thank you very much for starting your week with us. We appreciate every single moment you're at home watching us. The show gets better every single hour because, hey, that's what we do here. Now, Mary, what do we have on the show coming up?
Well, a lot of stuff. But before then, let's remind you that Wake Up Nigeria remains your one-stop show for everything family-oriented and, of course, lifestyle. My name is Mary Bashwa Aliwi.
And my name is Mazino Appeal. Don't miss the great experience by streaming live. If you have to leave the house, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in comments. We love to read your comments, guys. Please use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And also, don't forget the app.
Yes, we do have an app.
The app is available for download on both Android and iOS stores. And with the app, you can watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world.
And we'd like to remind you, once again, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv. Okay.
Yes. And of course, let's not forget Fridays. You can join us on IG Live on Fridays. That's at 2:30 p.m. as we bring you someone special for a chat.
Okay, now finally, can I ask you that question? Let's check out what we have on the show here today.
You've been so eager to know about that. While we have had our minds on the food.
I can smell all of it. It's...
Gosh, look at that gizdodo. It's giving life.
So there's something about gizdodo.
Oh boy.
There's gizzard, which I like, and then there's dodo, which is... You're doing it again, Mary.
Great stuff.
You were going to mention something about all these
okay, yeah, I saw that. And then I was reminded of the Wake Up Nigeria extra chat last Friday with Usman Umar, aka Soldier Boy. He's a reality TV star with, he featured in the 90 Days Fiancé.
Oh, the guy from up north.
Yes, that was quite an interesting conversation, but I'm sure we'll have that sometime tomorrow on the show. But anyways, so I saw a tweet where the girl was saying that she go to a house, she'll cook for him. So she'll stock up the house with food, cook for the guy.
With her money?
With her money.
Wow.
And then some girl will come and eat. And at some point, she'll call him and Oga will say, babe, I'll tell you when food is finished in the house. Stop calling me for now.
She was the edible caterer of his life.
Edible catering.
Yeah, she was.
I see what
you remember edible catering, right? Yeah, so she was providing the life.
She was sweetening his life.
Sweetening his life.
Yes.
And enriching his pantry.
Enriching his,
you know,
with
making
food.
sure there's food in the house.
Because she was deceived with the way to a man's house is through the stomach.
Meanwhile, somebody was getting to his house by eating the same food.
Ladies.
How do you know?
They did define their relationship before.
Wow.
Because there's some very nice... Let me give you a point in case. Always brings over something for me every morning.
Jesus Christ.
This MM?
Yes. Now, should I mistake that
do you know how
for...
long I've known you?
Should I mistake that for some other kind of affection?
I I don't even want to listen to this
me hot
conversation.
dog.
Wait. I'm enriching his life.
You're enriching his life. So my life is not worth enriching, MM.
Oh, no.
MM.
No.
We'll
Thank you
continue
very
this
much,
conversation.
I appreciate
Ibrahim
it.
is on standby for the news. Ibrahim, just quickly start this news because this conversation was held between MM and I.
Mazino, I will tell. I will tell you to tell.
Hey.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control reported 138 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 53,865. Plateau recorded the highest number of new infections with 55, followed by Lagos with 15. Ebonyi and Oyo recorded 11 new cases each. So far, 41,513 people have been discharged, while 1,013 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle is seeking the death penalty for reckless driving after a truck crashed into 3 vehicles, killing 16 people instantly. He said reckless drivers should be compelled to pay compensation on every life lost. The governor also announced donations to families of each of the deceased. He said the state government would introduce speed limit gauge on highways, weight measurements on trucks, and drug tests on drivers to guard against rough and reckless driving. And now to Kaduna State, where 2 members of the IMN have died in Kaduna. This happened a while ago when members of the Shiite sect were dispersed by security personnel while on a Shura procession, an annual event by the Shiites globally. One of them, Bashar Muhammad, died on the spot while the other died later. A Shura procession is usually held in commemoration of the death of Imam Hussein, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad. The sect, which has been outlawed by the Kaduna State government, say they have freedom of worship and association as enshrined in the Constitution. It's 56 days since Ibrahim Mago, the suspended chairman of the EFCC, honored an invitation by a commission of inquiry over allegations of misconduct. Let's bring you up to speed with what has transpired since the panel commenced sitting with a former president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Ayo Salami, presiding. Mr. Mago has said that the release of the purported interim reports did not emanate from the panel. His lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu, disclosed his development, quoting Justice Ayo Salami as ruling on his application against the media reports. Mr. Shitu said he confronted the panel over the release of the alleged interim reports, which had received publicity, and is asking the panel to take judicial notice and necessary actions against the purveyors of the fabricated report. On the propriety of the report, Ibrahim Mago's lawyer quoted Justice Salami, who is believed to have said that the report is based on the figments of the author's imagination. A source also told TVC News that the chairman of the panel said, "What should concern you and your client is what the chairman said. Inviting the promoters of the story will not serve any useful purpose, as they will not disclose their sources of this story." End of quote. It will be recalled that Ibrahim Mago was arrested on the 6th of July and ushered before the panel. President Muhammad Buhari signed a letter of instrument 3 days before naming the panel as a commission of inquiry to look into alleged mismanagement of recovered assets against the acting chairman of the EFCC. The panel has sat for 40 days, excluding weekends and public holidays. And Ghana has reacted to a statement issued by the federal government where the Information and Culture Minister warned that Nigeria will no longer tolerate the harassment of its citizens residents in the country. A 6-page release signed by Kojo Opang Nkrumah, the Minister of Information, stated that for the record, the accusations are not reflective of the developments and any protest will be unjustified. On the seizure of property located at number 10 Barnes Road, Accra, the minister said the transaction was a commercial agreement between Thomas Hardy, a private citizen, and the High Commission in Ghana in October 1959. According to the Ghanaian government, the terms of the lease expired 46 years ago. In the demolition of Nigeria's property, the statement clarified that the demolition was carried out by the agents of the Osu Stool, but because of the value placed on the relationship with Nigeria, a decision was taken to restore the state of the building and communicated to the federal government in Abuja. On the issue of deportation of Nigerians in 2019, 700 and not 825 Nigerians were deported for crimes ranging from armed robbery to prostitution and fraud. On the issue of Nigerian traders, the Minister of Trade intervened to ensure that shops reopened. President Nana Akufo-Addo will in the coming weeks, engage with President Muhammad Buhari to develop a framework where allegations of ill treatment of citizens of either country will be addressed. And that's the news on Wake Up Nigeria today. Let's hope.
All right, it's time for our usual e-learning series. And by now, I'm sure we all know the importance of utilizing electronic technologies to access educational curriculum outside of a traditional classroom. Now, as usual, Mercy George Igbafe, a digital expert and strategist in Agile Scrum digital marketing, a woman who is passionate about supporting Nigerians and African leaders to leverage on digital technology, will be sharing with us how to optimize your LinkedIn account. This is like a continuation from last week. It's great to have you on the show, Mercy.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast. Thank you, TVC. Thank you to the team, Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you.
Fantastic. So, Mercy, we've been talking about optimizing your social media. And I remember last week we started this discussion on optimizing your LinkedIn account, especially using it to leverage on job opportunities, business opportunities, and more. So let's take it up from where we stopped last week. Could you tell us more on how to make the most of this?
Yes, I'm actually going to walk you through what it means to have an all-star LinkedIn profile.
Fantastic.
So as usual, I'll just share my screen.
Okay.
Just give me 1 sec. Let me make sure that is actually up. So I'll just share my screen just to show you what it means to have an all-star LinkedIn profile. This is very critical because in 2020 that we are, everybody is online. We are all digitally connected, but what are we doing online is a big question. So I'll take it from this quote. It said, active participation is the best way to stay, look at me without saying, look at me. And that's by Bobby Darnell. So I showed you the slide yesterday that only 4 million Nigerians are on LinkedIn. And overall, from the 706 million members from 200 countries, only 3 million people are actually active on that platform. And it's the best platform to generate leads and help people from the UK to secure high-paying jobs. I'm talking about white-collar jobs. So what you need to do? Content is critical. Context is King Kong. And this is by an article I read yesterday. And consistency is the mother of content. So let me just go straight to my LinkedIn and show you what it means to have an all-star LinkedIn, all the steps you have to make sure that your page is looking swag that would endear people to you. So I'll use the annotation to be able to depict what I'm pointing out. So number one, you must make sure as a matter of principle that your profile, this is already sorted. That's number one. Number two, you must make sure you leverage on this Canva place so that at least it talks about what needs to be done, who you are when they look at your page in one overview. LinkedIn just launched this tool that I just saw the other day, just 2 weeks ago. And this one is something that we need to pay attention to.
Okay.
You can go and play mine and learn from what I have done there. So another thing that is key, which a lot of people miss, LinkedIn is not a place you come and dump your CV. It's important that we take note of that. It is very important. So you must make sure you leverage your feature, your profile. This your bio is your number one that says the things that matters. And this is where I've helped CEOs, senior exec to be able to optimize using keywords. This is very critical for your LinkedIn. I know that with limited time, there's really not much I can cover how to use SEO, but I've created a training that I'm going to be talking about how to do this. And I will implore people to just check that out on my social channel. So these are one of the things that you need to do to have an all-star. Your awards, your reference, what you need to do step by step. And this is an audio feature that LinkedIn just launched just literally 2 weeks ago, which is quite fascinating. You can have, I did initially a voice, but when I checked on someone's profile, Jeff, the other day, I noticed that I can do a recording for like 10 seconds. So that's the power of LinkedIn, and it's important that people leverage on this platform. Do you want to grow your business? Do you want to increase your revenue, connect with the right people that can actually change the story of your business? Do you want to make money? Do you want to have clients without breaking your bank? LinkedIn is an open canvas. Decision makers sit on LinkedIn. When I'm connected to world's billionaire that probably would never connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but they are on LinkedIn, and it's just an email right to their box. They can take notes. There is no breach between you and their PR. Like I said, there's a training that I'm going to be launching as well to show you what you need to do, how you need to do step-by-step walkthrough. You need to be able to generate leads. I've made so much money on LinkedIn. I'm very heavy on Instagram. I'm very heavy on Facebook. I'm very heavy on Twitter. But LinkedIn is your lead generation funnel. But you need to know how to leverage this. Content is key. Context of what you do on LinkedIn is most powerful. Then consistency. It's critical for you to win on LinkedIn. So these are the things that you must do. Have an all-star LinkedIn. Key of what you must do to be able to generate that kind of revenue that can actually change the trajectory of whatever you do. It's very critical. I can't say enough about the power of LinkedIn. That's one platform that is highly underestimated, and that's where decision makers sit.
Okay.
Not because they are not on Twitter. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so if I want to connect, for example, with someone I feel might be the stepping stone to the next level, how do you recommend I go about it on LinkedIn? Since, as you said, most of the top executives become more accessible via LinkedIn. So how do I go about it? What's the right way to go, the channel?
Let me just walk you through.
Okay.
You see, with LinkedIn, you see top exec, okay, on LinkedIn. So who do you want to connect with? I beg your pardon. Type their name on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Remember what I said, context is key. If you're just a charlatan, I have people that are connected with me that I probably would not accept their connect because I don't see what they're doing. What are you about? LinkedIn is a place that you cannot hide. You can hide on Twitter, you can hide on Insta and project a false narrative, but LinkedIn will expose that. So you have to position yourself like, okay, what am I about? Who, like I told you here, what am I doing online? Who am I? So why would I want to connect with you? Are we doing the same thing? Do we connect to the same thing? Do we have the same value? Are you going to add value to me? And that's where context is key. And that's a step-by-step I'm going to be walking everyone through to how to leverage this platform. And it's an incredible platform that you need to have. Like now, I use keywords. I'm a digital strategist, an agile and data enthusiast in digital. So by the time you connect with me, and with LinkedIn, you can see who is going to your profile immediately. It's an instant. So like I told you, you can't hide. Like you can go and troll. There are trolls on LinkedIn. It's not as if they are not there, but you have your name at stake because you could lose your job because it's just one click away for me to report you to an employer. Does that make sense?
Yes,
but
it
this
does.
is a professional platform that you can generate such astronomical revenue. I know I've killed it on LinkedIn. I'm killing it on LinkedIn. I know how powerful the platform is. I'm on all social platforms, including of TikTok. But the one that generates the most revenue for me is LinkedIn. So you look for the person that you want to look for. For instance, you give me a name now, I can search. I remember somebody so influential in Nigeria that I sent a connect to. And immediately it connected and sent me a message. I'm like, whoa, mercy. That is it. That is the power of LinkedIn. And it's such an underestimated platform. Like I said, I can't cover everything here, but I'll walk you through step by step of what you need to do when the training is launched.
Okay, so Messi, I really must thank you for all you've shared today. I'm really particular about the about. I like the way you really broke it down, the essence of what should be in it. And I must thank you so much for all you've shared today. I hope you have a great week. Thank you. Time for us to have a conversation with our final guest on the show today, talking about Michelle Sam. She is a writer, award-winning filmmaker, actress, and multimedia artist. Her parents are Ghanaian immigrants, and she was raised in the US and Europe. And of course, her work often explores the intersection of identities and stories in visceral and sensorial manner, with nuanced, fully humanizing and complex representations of people of color and women of all kinds.
Well, she challenges the norm in entertainment.
Yes, that's
And
something she's known for.
Yes, exactly. That's why we had to have her here on the show here today.
Yeah.
So Michelle, Sam, good morning and welcome and Wake Up Nigeria.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. well,
Great to have you on the show. You're a writer, you're an actress.
Yes.
Yes, and you wear quite a number of hats. Which one came first?
Which one will we refer to you as?
Which one came first? You know, there's always something that leads to another and so on. Which one came first?
I would say writing when I was a kid came first because I was a very shy kid. My parents were like, no, you cannot be a shy kid and live in this world. So they, encouraged me to write, utilize my imagination. And then they put me in acting class. They did not expect me to make it a career, as you know, but over time they're like, oh, she is not as quiet as we thought she was. And maybe this may not be a bad thing. And the writing led to acting. I fell out of love with writing because as you write academic papers, citations, it becomes more about getting the A+ than about, creating a story. And I pivoted, did theater, and came back to writing and realized, I remember why I like writing. And then I got into directing and playing around and experimenting with how to engage our different senses as humans. Because it's not only visual that we can enjoy a story. We can enjoy it auditory, we can enjoy it touch, we can explore the different senses in terms of what it means to tell a story, especially because that's what our ancestors did.
Okay, so you grew up in the UK, Ireland, US,
Yep.
kind of like 3 different cultures, so to speak. Now, would you say that
Yes.
influenced you negatively or positively?
Growing up everywhere, the question you asked was, did it affect me negatively or positively, right?
Yeah. Any
If-
how did it affect you? How did it influence you and all?
I would say it definitely affected me positively because my mother's one of 12. And as a result, her siblings were all over the place. So my parents would send me to, Canada, to the States, to UK. We were in Ireland and, Ghana as well. And, it affected me because I was able to meet a wide variety of people as well as experience life in different ways, whether that was like socioeconomically or whether that's just, growing up with, different set of rules, different ways of being, and different cultures. And it all aids in how I tell stories and, practice radical honesty as well as radical empathy.
Okay. So Michelle, sorry. So your works, in whatever form, do they all have a theme? Do you have something that you speak for? Maybe is it for women? Is it for art? Is it for specific cultures? What is it, would you say?
I would say for me, it is for women, women across the diaspora and on continental Africa. Although my most recent work, Black Boy Joy, that I wrote, centers surprisingly among men, 3 generations of men, but it's still mines from my own personal experiences and my family and people I know who struggle with grieving the death of a matriarch, as well as having special needs children.
Okay. Now, that
beautiful.
brings me to one of your movies, especially one that got nominated. I'm talking about Missed Connections. Now, we see a lot of Black folks avoiding, being at the forefront of LGBTQ. And here you are doing a short film on the transgender, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what influenced that?
What do you say?
What
hard
influenced
time
that? What made you decide to do a short film on that?
What influenced me was I'm a social justice activist and I fight for women's rights and Black rights as well. And oftentimes LGBT people and Black transgender people are ignored from the movement, and they march for Black rights. probably more than anyone does, but they're woefully underreported, their murders, as well as, their status in the community. The day that I wrote it, a Black transgender woman was murdered. And even though I'm not transgender, I felt that was very necessary to create a story that will help the LGBT community, as well as other people who may, be homophobic, kind of shine a light on, what it means to be transgender, as well as normalize it as well, because sometimes people watch the film and they don't realize that she's transgender, because it's not the main story. The main story is two people who fall in love at the festival, and, they spend most of the movie trying to find one another, and going through the butterflies of first love. And it's a story where it doesn't end in tragedy. She doesn't end up getting murdered or killed. In fact, she ends up meeting the guy and he accepts her for her. And the response has been overwhelming. We still are getting into festivals and getting it screened 3 years later. The lead, she has starred in many high-profile TV shows such as Pose, Ryan Murphy's American Horror Story, and whatnot. So, the impact is pretty visible, but at the end of the day, the issues still remain in terms of exploring LGBT rights, especially in the Black community, as well as in the African communities.
Now, if you weren't making films, Michelle, if you were somehow in another industry completely, what industry would it have been for you? Or would it still be films all the way?
It would still be film. It would still be film all the way. Storytelling. That's what I enjoy about what I do is, it's not only film, it's telling stories, because stories can be told in so many different mediums, and different mediums can help you be able to tell a story in a very different way that, film may not, whether that's through drumming, whether that's through audiovisual music, whether that's through various means. So I would say that I would be some type of storyteller, or I would have some sort of social impact, whether that's doing videos or film for nonprofit sectors. And luckily, the type of work I do is very centered around social justice issues, as well as disenfranchised people in different communities.
Okay.
All right, Michelle. So, Michelle, let's ask you, what do you have in the near future, or what projects are you going to be handling? And how about working with us here in Nigeria? Do you have any plans to do so?
I would love to. I would love to work in Nigeria, trying to make it happen.
Oh.
We did some shorts, as well as some music videos and commercials in Ghana. We hope to expand to Nigeria. In terms of what I have coming next, I write for an Amazon TV show. That's a platform in the US, and that's going to premiere sometime in 2021.
Okay.
And I also am doing my first full-length feature in Ghana, which kind of explores grief between two very different women. One that is in her 60s and is elderly, and one who's a teenager. And how, you have intergenerational stories where at first they don't like each other at all, because, they come from two different times, but they're able to kind of reconcile their past, present, and future together in terms of how they explore their grief and the journey from Black rage to Black joy and everything in between.
Okay. Have you ever been to Nigeria, though?
I haven't. I was supposed to go in December, but I missed the flight, and I ended up staying longer in Ghana. But the goal is to be able to hopefully go this year. But at the same time, Corona.
Yeah, we know.
Los Angeles.
But when it's
Lockdown.
time, do make an effort.
It'll be nice.
We'll entertain you while you're here.
Yes, it'll be nice.
100%. I have a lot of friends who live in Lagos, Abuja, and first generation in London, as well as in Los Angeles. And, I'm excited to be able to explore Nigeria, with their families and through their lens as well.
Okay.
Definitely.
If you had visited Nigeria, I would have asked you about the infamous Ghana jollof versus Nigerian jollof. But you haven't tasted Nigerian jollof in Nigeria,
So you can't tell.
We'll just leave it.
Right? I've only had Nigerian jollof in Houston, Texas. And,
No,
Ghana
not
is
the
still
same.
the best.
Not the same.
But
Not the same.
It might, but well, it might be the same.
Nah,
It depends on who's cooking it.
Michelle, thanks a lot. It's great having you. We look forward to seeing you in person very soon when you do visit Nigeria, and you'll be welcome.
Definitely.
Oh,
thank you so much for your
absolutely.
time.
I'm excited to visit,
Thank
and thank
you.
you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Alrighty.
All righty. Okay, so with that, we don't much ado is not needed.
Well,
Let's
do
just
you-
head straight for breakfast.
You just want to, okay, me or you, because I don't know who's going to be doing today's tasting.
Can you imagine?
But
You're always doing the tasting, unless you're suspicious of the meal. You're always doing the tasting. But you're not the one doing the tasting today. Let me
Thank you
warn
very much. All right, welcome to the kitchen. And that was quite an interesting interview, guys.
Oh, yes, it was. It was.
Okay, Chef Mary Jane, over to you.
What do we have?
Anyways, so this is Giz Dodo. And Mike is already, Mike is whispering in my ears that he wants to be the one to do the tasting. So
Who
it's
said
fine.
that? Me that I'm fasting.
No way.
So
Wait,
whilst
I don't
Mike is
understand.
having a taste,
that I'm fasting.
please, Chef Mary Jane, quickly tell us how you put this together. Thank you very much.
Okay, on my table here, I'm having Giz Dodo. For your Giz Dodo, you need to get fresh pepper, tomatoes, turmeric, ginger, garlic, gizzard, plantain, and your spice.
Yeah,
Nice.
very easy. Well, you just don't toss all of them together, dude, but it takes, it's a process. And yeah, so Mike,
Can't
tell
put
us.
it all together at the same time.
Yeah, but basically, all of it goes into, it's a one-pot dish at the end of the day.
Okay,
But
so you
let
know
us
this kind
what
of
you
food, you have to finish the food first before you.
Mike, can you exactly? Oh my
As
God.
in, Ogbeni,
Exactly. Ignoring his word.
Calm down, come on, it. Calm down, Mazido.
Okay, let's remember to
You're
get
not
a
the one
picture
testing
of this
today.
one. We'll get a picture. I hope we got the picture.
This is not Scooby and Mike. So eat it with class.
What you expect me to say is sweet. Very sweet. No, you speak English like Mazido now.
No, you have to experience it and tell
Yeah,
exactly
you know.
about that experience.
Come on,
It's the
sweet.
translation from taste to brain,
brain,
back
to
into words, and then communication.
Thank you.
It's an art.
Yes.
It's
I'm
an
seeing like
art
two
you don't
phones here.
have.
Just
And with that, we would like to say a very big thank you to everybody, crew, and everyone.
Yeah, Chef Mary
Thank
Jane.
you.
Jane, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
being here.
Thank you
Everyone
for
who has
welcoming me.
contributed to the success of today's show, thank you so much for your time. And of course, to homely.ng for the kitchen accessories. Thank you so much.
imagine we soak Gary with this thing.
Bring, let me show you how it.
I'm going to.
We bring it this
I
way.
need Gary now. I need to soak with this thing.
As in, I
Oh
don't-
God, Benny, calm down there.
Bye, have a